Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurudevaya Namaha. All together this invocation mantra. Om Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padambujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Graseka Karmane. Okay, so we saw one chapter in Viveka Prakarana. The first 5 chapters together is called as Viveka Prakarana. We saw one chapter in that Viveka Prakarana. The next group is called as Deepa Prakarana. And the next group also, now we are seeing the last of that group, that is chapter 10. This is what this book has. And I told you yesterday, Nataka Deep refers to the lamp which illuminates the performance hall in the king's court. In the old days, kings used to, I don't know if they still have, they might still have. They used to have a performance hall in their palace where they sit and look at all entertainment things. And there used to be a lamp lighting there to illuminate that whole place. So that lamp is the lamp of consciousness which illumines all the upadhi. Upadhi means conditioning. We'll see as we get later down into this chapter. Now see, let the chapter explain itself. See the first verse, and its own introduction will be there. Paramatma Dvayananda Purvam Swamayaya Swayameva Jagadbhutva Pravishadjivarupataha. Such a nice verse it is. Paramatma Advayananda Purvam Jagat Bhutva. He says, Paramatma, the supreme reality, which is also called as Advaya, non-dual, which is by nature Ananda, bliss, which is Purna, full. Purvam, before what? Before this. See, I told you about this word. Now if you see the English there, before creation, or Chinmaya Mission translation still have to remove all of these words. In the English, if you look at the Ramakrishna Mission translation, before the projection, and that is the exact translation, before the projection. It is not a creation, but these words have crept into our. And of course, when Guruji or when our Chinmaya Mission Swamis use the word, they use it with the knowledge that it is not an actual creation, but that should be captured somehow in the translation also. So there, if you see the Advaita Ashram Ramakrishna Mission translation, there is a before the projection. Purvam here refers to before the projection. So Paramatma, Advaya, Ananda, Purna, which is full, complete, before the projection, Swāmayaya, by its own intrinsic Maya power. So that Paramatma, by its own intrinsic Maya power, Swayameva Jagat Bhutva, himself became the universe. Because if you are going to project Nama Rupa, if Nama Rupa is going to be projected, there has to be some strata or substratum upon which it is projected. That is the idea. Bhutva, and then Pravishat Jiva Rupataha, and also entered this universe in the form of a Jiva. In other words, projected. Now who is Jiva? I mean Paramatma only. Projected itself as the universe and a Jiva in the universe. This is the summation of the verse. The absolute reality, and so many things are given in the verse. You have to study all the terminologies, all the ideas. So many ideas also. So there is a time prior to projection, and there is a time after projection, and that is Srishti and Pralay, which we talk about all the time. So that is one idea. The second idea is how that projection and the absorption of the projection, how that goes on, Swāmayaya, by its own intrinsic power. Then it is that same reality which projected the universe and projected a universe from itself. And that universe consists of what we see in front of us and a Jiva living in that universe also. And Jivas living in that universe. So it is one reality which has become both world and Jiva by its own intrinsic power. It means to say that reality is me who has become everything. So these are the ideas which are there in the verse. Pravishat, entered. Now if you see that English, with his Maya he became the world and entered into the world as Jiva. He entered into the world as Jiva. So the projection is not something which we are talking about, which is something which happened at a point in time, which means a beginning. The projection is always coming and going. It is not that thing started at some time. It's always, there's always Srishti and there's always Pralay. So when words like Purvam, before, and says before the projection, it means the whole universe was there but in an unmanifest form. So don't think that it is before there was nothing, you know. Nothing means no seed form or any such thing. All jivas were there, everything was there in seed form, unmanifest form, and it is just projected. And then the projection is again retracted, or what do you call it? Reabsorbed. Then again, and reabsorbed again. And do you know, I told whatever is true at the cosmic level is also true for this bodily level. This body also. Whatever is true for Brahmanda is true for Pinda. Giving out things and taking things in. There's always going and coming of all things in this body also. You just study it a little bit and you will see. So anyway, now there are just a few words there. Param Atma. Param Atma, words we have, Atma we have studied. Atma means self. And I told you each thing has an individual self. And then there is the universal self. Because when you go deeper into that thing, all things are one. Deeper you go into the thing, you will realize all things are one only. Because all things are made up of existence. So there is something which distinguishes this watch from this. But when you go deeper, this is existence and this is existence. So there is no distinction. The distinction is only at a superficial level, a shallow level. So it has an individual self, but it also has a universal self. So what is Paramatma? Universal self. The self of the self. The self of all beings and things. So that is called a Paramatma, and it is Advaya, one without a second. Now you cannot have two existences. Is it possible or what? You cannot have two existences. Meaning to say, you can have existence in the form of one thing and existence in the form of another thing. But you cannot have two existences. Existence is one uniform, unbroken, Advaya reality. There is no such thing as hot existence and cold existence. Expensive existence and cheap existence. No such things are possible. One unbroken Advaya, and it is of the nature of Ananda. Ananda means, see, the opposite of joy is sorrow, right? And sorrow results from limitations. So if something is complete, the next word is Purna. If something is complete and with one without a second, then that one without a second is Advaya. One without a second, that thing has to be then total, full, complete Purna. And so there is no second, and no second, and it means that that thing is not in any way finite. But as long as finitude comes, there is a feeling of incompleteness, and that feeling of incompleteness, I don't have this, I don't have the Purna word is there. And see, Ananda is there, sandwiched between Advaya and Purna. Purna means full. Bhagavan Sri Shankaracharya described Purna in Vishnu Sahasranama. When you are chanting there, Purna, Puraita, Punya. There, Lord Vishnu is called Purna. His one name is Purna. Purna means Sakalaihi, Kamaihi, Sakalabhihi, Shaktivihi cha Sampannaha. That means he who has every object present in him and who has every power, that is called Purna. Every object present means what? You cannot conceive of an object which is not there in him. And I told you that. I said Purna means full and complete, completely complete. Totally full. If you can come up with an object which is not there in the reality, if you can come up with a new object, that means that thing was not there. If it was not there, then he is not full, not infinite. Correct or not? Then the definition of God being infinite will not hold. So if you can come up with something which is not there, that will prove that he is not infinite. That means to say that he has to have every conceivable possibility or thing already present in him, and there is nothing which can come anew. And based on that thing, he is called as Purna. Means he has, Sarvehi Kamaihi. Kama here means object. Every object or thing. Kama means a thing. Everything conceivable is already in that. He cannot be lacking anything. Then he would not be called Purna. He will not be called infinite also. Full or infinite. So this reality which is now being described, see, reality is being described until Purna. That reality, he says Purvam, before the projection, is there with all possibilities existing in that reality. And please see, when something exists in the reality, I've given this example before. People who debate philosophy, then they have many questions. If there is a reality, we are saying on the one hand that reality is there, purvam, before. Let's just think about before. Means in its undifferentiated, uniform state, one pure existence. And we are saying in that reality, all things are there. That means to say there is the reality and there is things. So that is dvayatvam, duality, isn't it? There is duality, there is reality and the things in the reality. So we say, no, we are only talking in the language like that. There is the reality and there is all the possible things that you can ever conceive that is there in the reality, but those things are made up of existence. So now how are you saying that there is a duality? There is no duality. Second thing is, I'll show you. Water can exist as solid, liquid or gas, right? Water can exist as solid, liquid or gas, is first statement. That means inherent in a water molecule is the ability to exist in 3 states, correct? Okay. Now take the water molecule and you put him under the microscope and you watch through the microscope. What you will see? H2O. You will see an oxygen with 2 hydrogen attached to him like that. The water molecule, right? An oxygen here and 2 hydrogen here. 2 hydrogen molecule atoms. Oh. When you look through that microscope, are you capable of seeing these 3 possibilities? A possibility does not differentiate the fundamental material. An inherent possibility does not in any way differentiate the fundamental material. So when you look, you don't see a differentiated water molecule or a water molecule differentiated in 3 ways. All you see is a water molecule. But the water molecule has 3 inherent possibilities, isn't it? But that is not visible under a microscope, and at the same time that does not differentiate the water molecule. In the very same way, if pure existence is there and pure existence has infinite inherent possibilities, the inherent possibilities does not differentiate pure existence. So there is no duality. Otherwise people say, no, you're talking about an existence and you're talking about things in that pre-existing things in that existence. So it has differentiated the existence. So we say no, a possibility does not differentiate the thing. It still remains one uniform, undifferentiated thing. So in that reality is an infinite array of possibilities, of universes and beings and things which our mind cannot even fathom, conceive of in any way. So that is the meaning of Purvam, in that seed state now, or in that state prior to the projection. Everything is there. It means when the world has gone into Pralay. Yes. When the universe has gone into Pralay, this is the state it is there. It has just gone back into that seed state, what is called avyakta. So many words are being used. Avyakta state. And now it also has an inherent power, inherent Shakti, they call Maya. And that Maya is given in 3rd case by its own Maya. Swāmāyaya. That is the next word there. So by its own Maya. Swayam eva jagat bhutva, having become this universe itself. You see? Because there is only pure existence. There is only one thing. And if a universe has to be projected, what the universe will be projected from? the universe will be projected from that one thing only. There is no second thing. There is only existence. That is why I keep telling you, anything you touch, it is existence only. And existence is touching existence. And there is a sensation of touching. That is also existence. See how you are bound by existence? You feel claustrophobic. We are bound by existence only. Existence, existence. Existence is up, down, right, left, back, front, north, south, east, west, everywhere. Everywhere is only existence. One uniform existence. Albeit existing as names and forms. And then says, that projection also includes the projection of a jiva. Now jiva word we have studied before. Jiva, you know. Jiva means when the absolute reality reflects in the antakarana. Antakarana means the inner instrument. When consciousness reflects in the antakarana, that consciousness before reflection, and when we use all the words before and all of these things, you please take it as a pinch of salt. That consciousness before reflection is called as Shuddha Chaitanya, and Shuddha Chaitanya is called as Brahma. When it is associated with this Antakarana, it is called as Upahita Chaitanya, it is called as Sakshi. And when it identifies with the Antakarana, reflects, not only reflects in there, but also identifies with that Antakarana, it is called as Vishishta Chaitanya Jiva. Right? So this is Jiva. So in other words, in the projection, all of this happens simultaneously, instantaneously. So a Jiva is there in the projection. A Jiva means not one Jiva, but all of us. We are all there now. So this Jiva is now part of this whole projection. And remember, you go back again, the whole projection, it says Swayam eva jagat bhutva. I mean, the reality itself has become the whole jagat with the jiva and everything. So it is one reality which has become everything. It is one reality which is manifesting as everything. It's not two things. So that itself, if you just give a little thought to that, or you take it to its logical conclusion, that itself will mean there is oneness between Jiva and Brahma, isn't it? Jiva Brahma Aikya will again be established right there, because in the Mahavakya section which we were doing just now, that is what I told you what a Mahavakya is now. Jiva Brahma Aikya Bodhaka Vakya iti Mahavakya. So it is demonstrating the oneness between Jiva and Brahma. So here now, see, same thing again. The same Paramatma, which is Advaya, which is Ananda, which is Purna, by its own intrinsic power has become the whole Jagat, including a Jiva. So there is Jiva Brahma Ekya or not? Oneness is one thing. So what you have to think now, you see, for your own sadhana and your own thinking and all of that, your own reflection and all, I exist, you exist, the space between us exists, the chair exists, I'm one uniform, undifferentiated existence. And if a thought comes in my mind, that is also Nama Rupa, called Nama Rupa Prasarana. It's all a superimposition of names. And when I have a thought of stress, that is Nama. And it says, stress is Nama only. Nama Rupa, it is a special Rupa in the mind, right? And then you reduce that stress to just pure existence. And the one who is feeling the stress, that is another thought. That is also existence. There's another thought with a different name and form. So he said there's an individual, I am stressed out. So there is that existence which has taken on the Nama Rupa of I. It is that same existence which has taken on the Nama Rupa of stress. It is that same existence which has taken on the Nama Rupa of misery, because the stress is bringing me misery. It is the same existence which has taken on. So you reduce everything to pure existence. And that same existence has taken on the form of a jiva or ego trying to reduce it. You see, anything that arises there which is reducible to pure existence, you'll see how easy stress will vanish. Since this is the fundamental truth, this is the fundamental panacea, any other thing is just one conjured up thought trying to remove another conjured up thought. And it is not the ultimate solution to anything. You remove problem A by solution B, but B becomes a problem now. Yeah? And then you remove that by C. Now C becomes a. That is why that is symbolically given in the life of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and all. Bhagavan Shri Krishna amassed a huge army to remove adharma on the earth. He amassed a huge army to remove adharma. But when he was leaving, he ensured that the army also is removed. Because if he leaves and leaves that army, Hare Rama, you form an army to remove a problem of adharma. But if you leave this army, and I go and leave this army, the same adharma that you form the army to remove, this army will be responsible for re-establishing all adharma. And this is how human beings solve problems. We remove problem A with a solution B, but B becomes also A. But this is what we are doing right now. You see, I just give you a simple example. Look here, right all around it. Every approach, every problem and their solution. This is how human beings live. We have a problem. We make our own problems. We have a problem of poverty. Poverty is there. People don't have food. No. And we conjure up the problem that we have a problem of poverty and people don't have food. Even in India, this thing is going on. In the 60s, India started a big program of producing food because people don't have food. Right? Anyway, to solve the problem of poverty and the absence of lack of food and all, we get into all sorts of scientific research and this and that, and where a plant stock, a wheat stock can produce 1 gram of wheat, you make it produce a kilogram of wheat. Right? And so you get into all sorts of things. And you go on producing. Okay. So what? To solve that problem of poverty and lack of food, we get into all of these things and we solve that problem. Now what we have? Now chemicals, environment, all the other things are coming. Now also another problem, overproduction in India. Farmers, it is costing them 5 rupees to produce a pound of tomatoes and they are getting 1 rupee for it. You solve that one. Yeah, people have too much food now. Now you don't know what to do with the food. Now you don't know how to treat. How can you produce food without using chemicals? And how can you keep up with the competition? A whole lot. So when you solve one thing, and one after the next human problem, because there is no ultimate solution for human problems at this level. The ultimate solution is what we are talking about, to understand the truth. Then when the truth is understood, the truth is what? One pure undifferentiated reality, pure existence. When that is understood and realized, then only this fellow's problems will, and that's why Mahatmas have no problem. The body sick? No problem. The body healthy? No problem. And for us, if the body healthy also there is a problem. I wonder how I didn't get no cold this whole year. Whole year passed and I didn't get a cold. Yamraj coming for me or what? That he health also is a problem because I give him worries now. Yamraj giving me a blight. Coming for me or what? So now he gets stressed thinking Yamraj coming. So anyway, this is the solution to understand that it is the same one reality that has become everything. And so if that one reality has become everything, why am I not extending that understanding to anything that arises in my mind? Or anything which is going on around me? Alright, so that reality has become Jiva, and I explained to you Jiva in technical terms also. What is this Jiva? Now, in the next verse, Vidyaranya Swamiji describes how that reality is manifested as various classes and levels of beings. So just now he said Jiva. Just use the word Jiva. But there are different types of jivas of different levels, and some jivas are more free and some jivas are more bound. Some jivas are helpless and victims of Maya. Some jivas are more relatively free from Maya. And that happens by the jiva's own choices also. Yeah? Now see this verse, very nice verse, number 2. Vishnuvadyuttama deheshu Vishnuvadyuttama deheshu pravishto devata bhavat Madhyadhyadhama deheshu Sthito bhajati devatam. Vishnu Adi Uttama Deheshu. Vishnu Adi means Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, ityadi, like that. Huh? Vishnu Adi. Vishnu Adi means Vishnu, etc. So Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. They are called as Uttama Deha. Uttama Deha means they have higher bodies, supreme bodies, or superior bodies. In translation, it is superior bodies. Pravishtaha, the reality, from the reality by its own Maya is projected the whole world, and now in that whole world there is the projection of also superior bodies and inferior bodies. We know that. There is superior bodies and inferior bodies. See the kind of thing your body can do, a dog's body could never do. You think about it now. You give a dog a needle and thread. Okay, thread the needle now, let you tell him. No matter how much you train that fellow, because your one hand can hold that. His body is capable of doing such things. Or you let him send out his paws and nail and teach him to use the computer. Touch screen. Very difficult, isn't it? This human body is capable of so many count. Now see, that is inferior body, this is superior body. Bora Brahmaji thinking with 5 heads one time. Now we have 4, but he used to have 5 before. Brahmaji used to have 5 before. Who was it that got angry with him and cut out one head? Somebody got angry with him and But see, he is a superior body. And Bhagavan Vishnu, Chaturbhuj, 4 arms. 4 arms mean, look here. I don't know about you. One time, I thought I will learn to play tabla. It's a wrong thought, Anyway, I got that tabla. So there was one fellow living next to me there. He showed, you have to do like this. And then when you do this, then you have to do this one, right? But anytime I do this one, I forget this one. And anytime I do this one, I forget this one. It means there are many people in the world. That is why, have you seen them? They tell but when you get the two mixed up. In other words, it's very difficult to use our 2 limbs independently. Whatever one limb does, the other limb follows. Bhagavan Vishnu, Chaturbhuj. 4 arms. If he is using 4 arms one time, that is a superior body to this body or not? I cannot use 2 one time. And he is using 4. And what about Durga and all? दो भुज, 4 चतुर्भुज, 10 भुज, अति सोहे, 10 arms. So there are inferior bodies, mediocre, and there are superior bodies. So in that projection, different types of bodies were also projected. And remember, there is a jiva who is inhabiting that body, each body. And do you know, the jiva who is inhabiting the body and the body, there is a perfect match between them. The caliber of the jiva gets that caliber of body. The software, the hardware have to coincide. They have to work together. Your software, the operating system. Vishnu adi uttama deheshu pravishtaha devata abhavat. So he also became superior bodies, like devata bodies, and entered into those bodies also as jivas. Then martyadi adama deheshu. Now our body is called as martya. Martya means a human being. Martya. He called as martya. Martya means because we die. So devatas don't die. They also die, but relatively speaking, they live for a very long time. And we die, and every 80, 90 years, 100 years we go. And they are there for a whole kalpa and all. So we are called as martya. Adama deheshu means inferior bodies we have. Inferior bodies. Adama deheshu stitaha bhajati devatam. Means to say, we have in this inferior bodies, now we worship those devatas. Staying in these inferior bodies, we worship the devatas. And it is, the worship of course is a means for us to reach those higher states, higher and higher states, and a means for us to realize ourselves. So what it is telling them, the projection has superior bodies and superior jivas, and has inferior bodies and inferior jivas. And there is that hierarchy which is natural to the whole universe. Don't ever think it is anything bad. And look here, our dog also. Our dog will also always look up to us, when my master is coming, when my master is going to bring something for me, when my master will allow me to do this. He is also looking up, and in the same way we are looking up at devatas and do puja. Do puja and go on asking for all sorts of things. So the inferior jivas worship the and inferior because of our own karma and things that we have done, things that over a long period of time. And then when we all dissolve in the pralaya, then we are projected in the very same way again. That is the idea. Alright. and how long he goes on worshipping these devatas, and what is his journey, that is described in the next verse. See number 3. Aneka janma bhajanat swavicharam chikirshati vicharena vinashtayam mayayam shishyate swayam. This is such a nice verse. He says, Aneka janma bhajanat. Just now, in the previous verse, it was Swamiji was talking about the jivas in inferior bodies. They worship the one in superior bodies. Please, you see this thing. In the first verse, when we saw, is he himself, the Paramatma, Advaya Ananda Purna Atma itself became both the inferior and superior. Then, after, in the next verse now, is the inferior ones worship the superior one. Then who is worshipping who? Paramatma worshipping Paramatma only. Brahmar param brahma vihi brahmagno brahmana hutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samathina. It is all, everything is Brahma only. So now, this jiva, inferior jiva worshipping superior jiva, aneka janma bhajanat, from countless lifetimes of worship. Aneka janma. Bahunam janmanamante, in Gita also. Aneka janma bhajanat swavicharam chikirshati. The person develops a desire to reflect on his own self. So you please see, worship comes first. Worships and rite and rituals and all of these things come first, and from that a relative amount of chitta shuddhi is developed, and the person now develops a desire to reflect on his own self. So it starts with the worship of the devata, and this is how exactly how societies for all times have proceeded. Whether anybody designed or not, they proceed like this, even if it starts with a very primitive form of worship. Isn't it? People worship anything. Lightning. People used to worship lightning. One fellow asked, what is the difference between lightning and electricity? The other fellow said, lightning is free. The lightning, because it flashes from the sky and people cannot understand what happened. Some people say, Bhagavan taking photo. So you can't understand, so people start worshipping. So any type of worship, there is a reverence by an inferior being who cannot understand a superior phenomena. Cannot understand a greater phenomena. You see? And because he cannot understand that, he worships that. So any type of basic primitive worship also, that thing, it shows reverence in the heart. And a heart that develops reverence daily, more and more, that type of heart will eventually develop the desire, has a chikirshati, for swavicharam, to reflect on his own self. He will develop a desire to reflect on his own nature after many births. Then vicharena vinashtayam mayayam, and by that vichar, by the reflection on his own nature, the ignorance which he has, which he doesn't know. See, remember how we started? It is the same one reality which has become all things, jiva, superior and inferior and everybody. Same one reality. But then there's one of, and how by his maya? Because by his own intrinsic power, that reality has become all of this. It means all of this is also smitten by that maya, because maya was the instrument for. And that maya at the individual level is called as ignorance. So I don't know, I am the same reality. He is the same reality. Everybody is the same reality. He doesn't know that thing. So when he does this worship for so many lifetimes, he gets chitta shuddhi and a desire to reflect on his own reality. When he reflects on his own reality now, his own nature, the maya or the ignorance which is preventing him from knowing his own nature, that ignorance gets destroyed. Vinashtayam, vicharena, vinashtayam, mayayam, and then shishyate swayam. And what is left? When the maya gets destroyed, what is left? Only me. Swayam, oneself only is left. What is it? That pure, undifferentiated, one existence. Advaya, Purna, Ananda, Sat, Paramatma. So, in this also, there seems to be a cyclical thing. The whole reality is manifested as me with all my ignorance and everything. And in me also is built, in me is built all that is required to know what is me also. Because the reality is Purna, the reality has everything. So for the projection and for the realization of what caused the projection and everything, all that is still there, all that is already there in us. Look here. That is why it is said, nobody can teach you anything which you do not already know. No one can teach us anything which we already do not know. We have everything in us. That scriptures are there, gurus are there, traditions are there, everything is there, just to wake up in us what we already know. When a child learns to write, the capability of writing is already built into the child or not? Teacher doesn't, we call it teaching. The teacher awakens a capability which is already there. In the very same way, everything which we learn, everything which we know today, it has just been awakened by some incident in the world. That is what reality teaching is. It is awakening. And so we have in us the ability to know our own self. We come with the ability. We are born with it. To know our own self as Paramatma Dvayananda Purnaha. That is the idea, that we are born with that. Now, just now, in the verse which we are considering, he says, Swavicharam chikirshati vicharena vinashtayam mayam shishyate swayam. He destroys his maya, his own ignorance, and what is left is his pure self, swayam. Right? That maya, which is part and parcel of my own existence, manifests in the form for me as ignorance. And another way to call that, another manifestation of that ignorance I call as bondage. That maya for me manifests as ignorance, and the ignorance leads to bondage. That bondage and the freedom from bondage, which is given in the previous verse, because when he does vichar, his maya gets destroyed, and then he left as Paramatma, the self, supreme self. That ignorance, once it is there, leads to bondage, and the removal of that ignorance is freedom. So bondage and freedom is now spoken about in next. In other words, he refines the discussion specifically. Just now a general thing, what he's smitten by Maya. What exactly is meant by the person is smitten by Maya? It means that the person is smitten by ignorance. What exactly is meant by he is smitten by ignorance? He is smitten by bondage. We are all bound. This is now at a very ordinary level now. But it's the same Maya, ignorance, then bondage. And of course, where there is bondage, there will also be freedom. So we are all smitten by. So what is this bondage now? That is spoken about in number 4. See this. Advayananda rupasya sadvayatvam cha dukkhita bandha prokta swarupena sthitir muktiritiriyate. So Advayananda rupasya sadvayatvam cha dukkhita bandha proktaha. So 2 words in the second line. Up till proktaha. That is bondage. And then the next remaining words, swarupena sthitir mukti iti iriyate. That is called freedom. Yes. So about 2/3 of the verse is bondage. And 1/3 is freedom. Now let me tell you the meaning of that. Advayananda swarupasya sadvayatvam cha dukkhita. Now, the one Advaya Paramatma which we saw in beginning in the first verse is called Advayananda Rupa. Of that one undifferentiated, uniform, supreme reality. Of that, or in relation to that thing which is one without a second, Advaya, that feeling of dvayatvam means duality. So something which is not two but is feeling as though it is. No, a simple way to say that, or at ordinary level, you and I who are never disconnected to feel that we are disconnected. That is the idea. Because see, I told you, every iota of me is existence, every iota of you is existence, every iota between us which is space is also existence. So how are we disconnected? Tell again. We can't be, even if you want to be. I mean, I don't like this person, you know. but you are connected. We can't be disconnected. So, while the reality is one thing, that we are not disconnected, every single thing in this universe, I am intimately connected with every atom through existence. But now, while the reality is one thing, our feeling is something different. That is called dvayatvam. Dvayatvam is unreality. Advayatvam is reality. Dvayatvam is unreality. So, because we believe the unreality rather than the reality, we are dukkhi. Therefore, dukkhita. Dukkhi means miserable fellow, kritya, miserable person. And we are very generous with sharing our misery to all and sundry. Any little misery we have, we like to share that thing. How are you? Oh God, boy, what to tell you? And we start our Mahabharata. Tell our whole story, 100,000 verses. Start versifying. Vociferously also. Anyway, so he said that is called bandha proktaha. That thing is called as bondage. To actually accept the unreality that I am Separate and unconnected. They are dvaitvam. Means to say, you are there and I am here. Not to see the one existence which is pervading. So dvaitvam dukkhitaha bandhaha proktaha. That is called bondage. Now what is mukti now? Freedom. That is called swarupena sthitihi muktihi. Staying in my own true nature. It means to relinquish this feeling or thought that I am disconnected from you, disconnected to you or whatever, and to stay in the one pure existence which is all pervasive, pervading me, pervading you, pervading the space, pervading everything. Staying, remaining fixed, remaining established in that one Swarupa, which is of the nature of Satchit Ananda, which is of the nature of Paramatma, Advaya, Ananda, Purnaha, full. So when we use these words also, you see, these words should have been studied. So I am using the word in the direct connotation. So to remain in that state, that is called as mukti. To remain in this state and to see everything as disconnected and everything as finite and everything as limited, that is called as bondage. This is it. And why this bondage persists? In the most famous verse, you may have heard me quoting this verse many times. This is quite often quoted, so you don't know. This is why this bondage persists. Why it doesn't go away? Why? Because we are intellectually lazy. That is why. All human beings intellectually lazy. This fellow, lazy like anything. He doesn't want to. This intellect doesn't want to. It's like a. You know what you call a lazy bull? A bulldozer. And this fellow is dozing, intellectually dozing. Now see this. This is number 5. Avichara krito bandhaha vicharena nivartate tasmad jiva paratmano sarvadeva vicharayet. Literally this means avichara krito bandhaha. Bondage is perpetuated by the absence of vichar. Vichar means constant reflection. Constant reflection is a vichar. But sorry, absence of avichar means no vichar. Krita bandha. It's just krita word is given. Krita means is created. Is created means is caused by avichar. Bondage is caused by avichar. What it actually means, bondage perpetuates because of avichar. That's how you have to take it. Bondage is actually created by Maya, but it stays because of avichar. Means non-thinking. Non-thinking. You see? People say never mind. Some people say no mind. No, people don't like to think. That is why you see, if you have something ritualistic, everybody will come. If you have something to think, the only thing he will think is where I should go. Avichar krito bandhaha vicharena nivartate. By vichar, this bondage is removed. One and only one thing. Because we keep telling there is only one antidote to ignorance. That knowledge. And knowledge is only dawned by vichar. Tasmat jiva paratmano sarvadeva vichare. Means, therefore, I should constantly, day in, day out, lifetime upon lifetime, reflect on the difference between Jiva and Paramatma. Jiva and Brahma. Now what? I should go back to Tattvamasi. Isn't it? Thou art that. There are superficial differences, but at the fundamental level, both are one and same. Superficial differences only. Like from the same clump of clay you make Ram and Ravan. At the superficial level, there are differences. You go to the deeper level, they are one and same. Okay, we'll pick up on this verse tomorrow. Okay, so the